Hi, welcome again to Caboose Fresh. Thanks again for using us. If it's the first time you've used us, I'll just explain a little bit about the concept. So basically, you will get all of your ingredients in a nice brown bag, all weighed out and packaged up for you, so you don't need to think about weighing things or trying to calculate how much to use. You'll get your recipe like this, and there's a QR code on there to access this video that you're watching. Now, the concept is, I'm not a chef by any stretch. I'm a complete novice, and we've got our head chef Dan here to talk me through this. So I've never cooked it before, and Dan's there to give us sort of helps, tips, and advice along the way. Because I don't know if you're like me, if you've been following recipes before, you always come across little challenges and little things that you just simply don't know how to overcome, and it can make or break the dish in many cases. So, Dan, before we get going, sorry, I'll explain a little bit about the prep we've got here. So on the SOP, or on the recipe, it asks us to do some preparation tasks, and it's just really to make sure that instead of standing watching me chopping an onion, you've got everything ready to go before we start cooking. Plus, when we're cooking, sometimes it can be at quite a fast pace, so you don't want to be caught short a little bit and having to chop something when it has to be in the pan. So I've done all the prep tasks here. I've got my spices out, I've got my meat out, I've got the rice prepared, I've got the onions chopped and the coriander and things like that all chopped. So I'm ready to go. So Dan, before we get going, do you want to tell us a little bit about this dish?
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to tell. It's more of a Thai-style dish. It's just a nice alternative to a curry or meatballs. Put them both in a blender. This pops out. It's really nice. The meatballs are really light with the paste that's in it, but you'll see through the video exactly how to do it. But it's a nice dish. It's not spicy. It's quite mild. The meatballs themselves are spicy, but the sauce is sort of mild, like a coconut taste.
Okay, cool. Right. Well, like I said, the prep's done. I've got the bits and bobs out that I need. I'm ready to go. So do you want to just take it away?
Yeah, okay, no worries. Right, so basically you want to start by take the diced onion. You've got the small diced onion there. Take the diced onion and fry that in a frying pan with a bit of oil. And while that pan's getting hot, you can make a paste with the breadcrumbs and the milk. You just need a little splash of milk for them breadcrumbs, just to make it into a paste.
Just some veg oil in the pan, yeah?
Yeah, you're just going to fry the onions a little bit. Now, nothing too scary at the minute. And then you need to... Yeah, so if you take a bowl there with your breadcrumbs, add a little bit of the milk. You don't need a lot, mind, so just stir it in with a spoon, just to make a paste. And it'll take a while for that. Is it panko breadcrumbs you got there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll take a while to soak up because they're quite coarse. Well, you'll see what I mean by a paste in a minute. When that pan's nice and hot, just going to add the onions and fry them off with a little pinch of salt and the chili flakes, which you've got on that plate there, Mark.
Yeah.
Resembling sort of a paste?
Yeah, it's mushy, but it's not exactly a paste.
It'll get there. It'll have to soak for a bit, You can even just leave it like that for now, and then start frying them onions. It'll soak up in time. And you just want a little pinch of salt in there with them as well. And also, while you've got that salt, add a little pinch of salt into the pork mince. And bring that pork mince forward because that's what you're going to be doing next. So you're basically going to take that paste, right? And you're going to add the paste into there, and then the fried onions, when you've added the chili flakes and fried them for a little bit with the onions, chuck it all straight in there.
Okay. This pan's not massively hot yet. And you might want to get the essentials as well when you're doing this, because it can get that way.
Right, so when these are done, you're going to be frying them in that same pan. So don't get rid of that frying pan, but you've got the onions in. When they're fried, just a little bit. You don't need to fry them for long at all. They don't even need to be soft, really, Just draw out a bit of the moisture. So you add your chili flakes to that now, Mark. Just the chili flakes. So now you can put that paste into the mince there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Then you can add your onions and chili flakes into it as well.
You fry this anymore?
Yeah, that's fine. Just chuck it straight in. Then keep that pan. You're gonna need that pan. Right, now you're going to mix that up, Mark. You might want a plate or something like that for when you've rolled the meatballs out, you can just put them on your chopping board because you've done all your chopping jobs. So mix that up. I would mix it up with your hands. Watch because the onions are a little bit hot as well. But mix it up with your hands and you should roll it in. Well, let's try, say, for example, 8 meatballs, nice and compact. And then once you've rolled them into balls, you're going to press them down to about this thickness, like a chunky burger. The reason is just so you can caramelize it on either side, then flip it over.
That much?
Hold out a bit higher. That should be fine, aye. If you can get 8 out of it, that should be fine. If they're too big, then make them a bit smaller. Like I say, it's hard to tell from here. So that pan that you've got there, you can even be getting that a little bit warm now. If you can keep it on a low heat, because you're going to be frying those meatballs straight away in that pan.
Did you wait until my hands were suitably covered in the meatballs to tell me that, yeah?
Yeah. So when these are done as well, I mean, this can take a bit of time, so you can do them in advance. Like it says in the SOP there, if you want to do them in advance, you can. And just stick them in the fridge. You know, you can do them in the afternoon and then come just to fry them on the night time.
I think that would probably be helpful because you get yourself in a right mess doing stuff like this, can't you?
Aye, you do, aye, absolutely, aye. We've seen it before, you know. But yeah, when they're done, you can sit them in the fridge. You can make them the night before, even it doesn't really matter. Like the only reason that this is getting done now is obviously just to show people how to do it, you know. And what you'll need as well, if you've rolled them into a ball, you need to flatten them down a little bit and just show me the thickness when you do it.
Yeah, I will do. I just wanted to get the size fairly consistent.
Yeah, it's fine. See, I'd have been there all day with that, like.
Okay, I've got 8. It's roughly the same size.
Right, so just crack them down a little bit.
Quite round. So you're saying just flatten them off a
Just flatten them a little bit, so you can flip them over. So they're more like mini burgers, but don't go as thin as a burger. Do you know what I mean? It's just so they've got a little bit of a flat surface on them so you can flip them. And when that pan's nice and hot, just whack a bit of oil in. Season the top of the meatballs a little bit with some table salt, but not too much because you've already been seasoning it. And what you'll need, Mark, before you start this, right, you'll need a plate. Because you've had the raw meatballs on there, you'll need a large plate. So when you've fried these all the way around, you need to lift them out and put them onto a plate and then keep that pan on the heat to make the sauce.
Okay.
So this needs to be nice and hot, this pan, mind. It needs to be quite hot. And you'll need a spoon there to flip them over. And what you'll start doing with the meatballs, if you start at 12 o'clock from where you're standing, at the top of the pan, work your way around, you know, let them caramelize and go around again, flipping them over.
I think that's nice and hot now.
Yeah, go for it. Have you put a bit of salt on top of them as well?
I was going to do it once they were in.
You can season one side now, and then season the other side when they're in there fried. Just not a lot, just a little tiny bit. There you go, you can start frying them. Like I say, start from from 12 o'clock, which is facing away from you, and then work around clockwise, and then go back around again to flip them over when they're nice and brown.
Clockwise.
Anti-clockwise. Right, now you can season the other side.
Smelled it already.
Sorry?
It smells lovely already.
So is there a good bit of colour on them? What I would use as well, I would probably use a spoon, like a little tablespoon, just to flip them over, because if you use that big lifter, it's going to be a nightmare getting into the pan, you know? Yeah, start with the top one and then work you around. Mark, clockwise.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's it. They look nice and brown, aye? Yeah, they look good then, aye. If it starts to get too hot, if it looks like it's colouring too much, just turn the pan down. It's all just about controlling the heat as well. You need to really try and control the heat. If you feel like it's getting too hot, don't risk it. Just turn it down, yeah?
Oh, that one's stuck a little bit.
That's fine, just york it off. It can happen. You'll probably get a few sticking. Right, then back on the high heat. Right, so have you got the coconut milk there? You've got the coconut milk ready. You've got half a lemon ready. You've got your onion and ginger and garlic ready.
Yeah.
And you've also got a stick of lemongrass there.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Right, so those meatballs can come out.
They come out.
Aye, onto a plate, and then what's going to happen, you're going to finish them in the sauce.
Get them out now, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. If you set the plate down next to you and use two hands, it should be much easier. And if you get a few of them that stick, don't worry about it. It happens all the time. You know, I should see me making these as a car crash. Right, so put that pan straight back on the heat there, and add half a squeeze of that lemon juice to it. No, sorry, no. Add the onions there, Mark. Sorry.
Onions?
Yeah, add the onions straight in, and yeah, chuck the ginger and garlic in as well, just straight away with a bit of salt. On a high heat and just get that frying nicely. You can add a bit more oil as well if you want it to fry nicer, if it's not frying enough.
Yeah.
Right, good. So if you get
Just a squeeze of lemon.
not just yet, I was my mistake, sorry. If you get the rice ready in the pan, just get things ready while you've got that waiting on that to cook a little bit. And have you got a bit of salt in there as well?
So the rice straight in the pan.
Yeah, you can chuck the rice in the pan, aye. And then we'll get to that bit next. So Mark, if you pour actually not saying that. So half a tin of coconut milk in with that rice, and then cover it with water. So the rice is covered by about 1 inch at the top.
Half a tin of coconut milk.
Half a tin, and then you need to fill it up with rice. Just fill it up with water, cold water, so it covers the rice.
Yeah.
Right, and then you can turn that on, turn it up there, and get it up to the boil.
Okay.
Right, so now are they nice and soft, the onions and garlic and stuff?
What?
Are they looking nice and soft, those?
Yeah, they look nice, huh?
Right, so now I would add the spices into there, all those spices.
Just chuck it all in, yeah?
Yeah, go for it. And just gently fry that for about 30 seconds. Just careful not to burn those as well. It's nice to have it on a medium heat if you're frying spices because they burn so easy.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Right, now I would take that lemon now and squeeze the lemon juice over it. And then add the coconut milk straight in there. The rest of the coconut milk.
1.5 tins, yeah?
Yeah, go for it. And give that a good stir. And then get it up to the boil.
Oh. Right,
so next, you're waiting for that to boil. Take the lemongrass, which is on that chopping board. And you're going to take a knife, take the back of the knife and bash the lemongrass all the way along it with the back of the knife.
Like this way?
Yeah, like bash it, like that. Yeah, exactly. Just so it releases. Now then you're going to slice it lengthways down the middle. And the only reason to do that there is just to release the aroma.
Here, Dan, the root end?
Yeah, slice it down the lengthways, yeah.
I've never used this before.
Yeah, it's fine. Slice it all the way down, and if you smell it, when you cut it open, it should smell amazing because you've hit it, it releases the aroma. It smells unreal.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so put that whole, like that, just as it is, in that pan with your with the coconut milk and the onions.
Both of them, yeah?
Yeah, just chuck it in. Right, and make sure they're under the liquid, make sure they're submerged. And that should be coming to the boil. Is that on a high heat, is it?
It is now.
Right, so if you add your meatballs back into that pan, Mark. And then what we'll do, once they're in the pan, just pause the video and then you've got about 10 to 12 minutes. It'll all be done. So your rice will be done in 10 minutes and they'll be done in about 12. And halfway through, you can flip them over if you like, but you might not need to, depending on the size you've rolled them. Does it smell good?
Yeah, it smells lovely. I'm surprised how much I can smell that lemongrass with all the other flavours in there.
Well, that's what I mean. You don't blend this. So basically, when it's served, you'll see we just take the meatballs out and we don't blend the vegetables in. We just pour the sauce out of it, you know. So okay. Yeah, you're going to wait for that to come to the boil, and then in 10 to 12 minutes, we can come back on the video, and that'll all be done. We'll just finish it off. Okay, good stuff. Right, well, rice is on, that's on. We'll see you in a few minutes. See you in a few minutes. The meatballs are boiling away nicely. I've turned them over once, and I've just knocked the heat off the rice now. So, Dan, what we doing next? Right, so just need to season the rice with a bit of salt, just a bit of table salt in the rice. That's it. It should be really creamy, like coconut rice. It's really nice, that stuff. Now, right, I'm going to just give it a stir. Now, you want to just taste the broth. Check the broth for season. It looks nicer. So check the sauce that you're cooking the meatballs in. Just check it for seasoning. You might want a bit more salt in, or a squeeze more lemon juice, or whatever. It should be fine because you've been seasoning it throughout. But it's personal preference anyway.
Definitely doesn't need more seasoning.
No?
No, it's nice, that.
Aye. Right, okay. Right, so
I don't really know what difference the lemon juice makes, so can't say if it needs more, but I think it tastes lovely.
Well, have you got another lemon lying around, or have you got?
I can definitely taste lemon. So the lemon, I can taste lemon.
It's in there. Right, right. That's fine. So you can chuck the chopped coriander into that and give it a mix. Now, next, you're just going to be plating. So if you get your 2 plates out, and
I'm taking this lemongrass out.
Well, I'll show you just in a second, because basically what you're going to do is arrange the rice on the plate, and then you're going to lift the meatballs onto the plate, and then drain the sauce onto it. So you're not letting any of the vegetables from that sauce onto the plate. You just drain it with a spoon, tip it out. And if you've got a big bowl at home, use a bowl. But if you've just got plates, just do it like this, but make a well with the rice.
So would you normally serve it in a nice sort of big round, a big sort of...
Yeah, in a big bowl, I just so coming away.
Okay, well I haven't got one of them, so...
That's all right. If you just plate it like that, make a well in the middle, and then you can sit the sauce in the middle, and it'll be absolutely fine.
Just like that, yeah?
Yeah, just like that. So you'll take the meatballs. You've got 8 meatballs in there, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you're going to put 4 on each plate in the middle where you made that well. And then if you you're going to drizzle the sauce over, you can actually ladle the sauce out, but you just have to be careful not to get the vegetables in, which is not life or death if you do, like, you know. But it's nicer to have a clear broth, I think.
Is this a bit where someone gets shouted at for spilling a little bit on the side of the plate?
No, not in our kitchen. It's lovely in our kitchen. Nobody gets shouted at. That's it. And then just get the sauce over the top. You want to really drown it in that sauce. You want quite a bit on there, you know. Wow, that looks lovely.
Oh.
That looks spot on. Oh, that smells amazing, doesn't it?
It smells amazing, yeah.
Now, what you can do now, if you've got a lime lying around, right? It's just if you've got one out, it doesn't matter. If you've got a lime, you can grate a little bit of lime zest over the top of that, and it smells even better. But you don't need it. That's why it's not on the SOP.
I will do it, like, but yeah, it looks tremendous. It smells great. If it tastes anywhere near as good as that, then we're on to a winner.
Nice.
So yeah, I say it again. So if I can do it, you can do that. I've never made that before. I don't know how it's going to taste yet, but like I said, the sauce tastes beautiful as I've been trying it, and it smells great. So, you know, if you've got this far, you'll have a tremendous dish in front of you. There's a lot there as well, Dan. I mean, there's a lot of rice. There's 4 big meatballs in each plate, and there's still a lot of broth. So I would probably add more broth to that myself.
Yeah, if you have a bowl, you would add more broth anyway, you know.
And you say these vegetables don't get put on. You can't eat them though.
You can eat them, but like I say, I mean, it's ginger and it's lemon. I mean, don't eat the lemongrass because that'll blow your head off. But like, you can eat the onions. You know, you can eat the ginger and the garlic. But I don't bother. Yeah. I think the clear broth with a bit of rice. You'll see what I mean.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Good. Okay. Well, again, thanks very much for using Caboose Fresh, and thanks Dan for all the help and stuff along the way. I mean, some of that little helps and tips are quite priceless, really. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. No.
And enjoy. Good job. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Cheers.